2025 is almost over, and it was a year. But if you're a Touhou fan, specifically a Touhou gamer, it was pretty phenomenal. Touhou 20 had all of its ups and downs, and I'd say overall I ended up enjoying it a lot, but that deserves its own video. Today, I wanted to take a look at the Touhou Fangames of the year. And if you're new, you can legally sell Touhou Fangames on Steam as long as you follow guidelines, yada yada yada. Alright, let's go! I already reviewed a few like Fearless Frog Slayer and Witch's Night Market, but those, along with other games, got free updates. Fearless Frog Slayer got a new boss rush mode with more story, adding a nice cap to the game. Witch's Night Market, which I played before it was even out, is hugely successful now. In just 3 weeks, it's managed to get over 100 positive reviews. That's crazy impressive. Well, it's a very easy game to like. As I explained in my review, fighting other people's builds is probably still my favorite part, and the devs have been updating the game for free, with the most recent major addition being achievements. But those aren't the only free updates. My favorite Touhou fan game, Yoyami Dancers, got its long-awaited free Cherno mode. This mode adds a ton of great new songs and a gameplay style inspired by Great Fairy Wars. And then in Lens Night Sky, a game my friend made, you get to go to space in the newly added Stage 6. So, we ate good with free updates, but there is some DLC I wanted to mention. Danmaku Kagura has gotten incredible post-launch support. Almost every minor issue I had in my original review has been addressed, from new single-player missions to much-needed quality of life. And then on the free side, they added in 4 new difficulties for people to approach. They basically doubled the amount of charts in the game for free. But there's still paid DLC, and DLC 10 was the big one. This DLC featured songs from creators on YouTube, including ReachAdEB, Frozen Starfall, Violet Delta, and what you're listening to right now, Zaron W. I know Zaron online, so the fact I can say I know someone who got a song into one of the biggest Touhou fan games of all time is crazy. All of the creators I listed are from outside of Japan. I commend Unknown X for getting international artists for their Touhou DLC. That is a massive triumph for the Western community, and things like these help bring the international Touhou scene at large closer together. Oh, but we've also got remakes and re-releases. First, Sanai's Sylphid Breeze is a remake of an old Kirby-like from 2011. There's a surprisingly small number of games that play like Kirby, so even without Touhou, this would be pretty novel. The game is short, but is built around having an explorative post-game and some fun boss fights. It's a cool game, though I think $20 is a bit high of a price tag. But the other re-release is a game I waited 6 years for. Fantasy Maiden Wars Complete Box. This is one of the most important Touhou fan games ever made, and there's a ton of non-Touhou fans who love it. It's legitimately just a great strategy game, but it also manages to have great writing that appeals to both veteran Touhou fans and newcomers. It retells old Touhou stories with characters from later games added in, so newcomers get caught up to speed, and veterans get to see new interactions. And the story gets deeper later on. And the sprites are just incredible. $35 sounds like a lot, but this game is like 4 games in one with several hours of playtime. I highly recommend it. And also, the translation is built off a fan translation with the blessing of the original team. We wouldn't have this game without fan translators, so thank you. So all that stuff is great, but aside from the free updates to games this year, I haven't talked about some of the new releases. There's Flicker Frame Shutter Festival, which I just did a short about. This also just got a free update, but the game itself is really cool. It's a crossover between a ton of different Touhou fan games into one Ayacine game, and it's got some great music. Then we have Marissa of Lyretop Mountain. This is a game by the Danmaku Kagura team, and it has a super cool tabletop aesthetic. The game is fun, and offers some nice moments with the Scarlet Devil Mansion crew. But my favorite aspect is actually the price. It's only $15. In a day and age where things are getting more expensive, it's nice to have a game this polished be this affordable. And then there's the big one. Aside from Danmaku Kagura and a potential Luna Nights 2, I think Fantastic Danmaku Festival Part 3 was the most anticipated Touhou fan game of all time. And I'm happy to say it lived up to the hype. An extremely flashy reimagining of Touhou 8, FDF3 has a lot to offer, and is still getting updated with new content like Last Words. This game's pretty easy though, so maybe up the difficulty a peg if you try it. But FDF was expected. What really set this year apart for me was both the highly anticipated games and the great games from newcomers. I talked about Frog Slayer and Night Market already, but there's another Touhou fan game that ended up being the most popular of the year. Touhou Dystopian, a flashy action game with excellent style, fun gameplay, roguelite runs, and a ton of charm throughout. When you think about the act of bullet dodging in Touhou, it kind of hits you how cool the fights actually are. Luna Nights accomplished that feeling in a 2D setting, and Dystopian does so in a 3D setting. And if I was praising Liar Top for its price, Dystopian is only $10. This took off not only in the Touhou sphere, but with action gamers as well. In 2025, the expected heavy hitters came out swinging. But we also got a lot of great surprises in the midst as well. I was already feeling like this year was the best, but I think Night Market's release in December solidified it for me. This was the best year for Touhou games. And that's just the stuff I played. There was the Aki farming game that's getting more updates next year, a Suwako bullet rhythm game, Yoyami Biscuit from the Yoyami Dancers dev, and more. And when we look to next year, last week I played a demo of a super promising Touhou 1 fan remake. 2025 was such a good year to be a Touhou gamer, and we still have more to look forward to next year.